Hey everyone, it's Angela, and if you know anything about my hair, you know that it never does this. It's always flat as a board. So we gotta make this video quick. This video is going to be the New York Times by the book tag. This was originally created by Marie Berg, and I will leave a link to her channel in the description down below. And I was not tagged to do this video, but it sounded really cool, and I thought I'd give it a try. Plus, it is exploding everywhere on BookTube. So I thought that I need to do more tag videos. So here we go. Question number 1 is what is on your nightstand right now? And I have a couple other books with these two that I'm going to show you. But the first one is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And I'm about that far in. So not very far, but I'm making good progress on it for when I started it. I'm really excited about that. I read like a couple case files every night, so it's making it go by rather quickly, and I'm really enjoying it. And the second book is The Underdogs by Melissa Fay Green. This is a nonfiction about service dogs, and I just started it. I'm on page 22, but it's really interesting so far, and I love dogs, so it's a win-win. Number 2 is what was the last truly great book you read? And it would be Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I cannot stop thinking about this book. I read it back in February, I think. It was amazing, so beautiful, and I loved the story. The next question is, if you could meet any writer, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you want to know? And I would choose Ruta Sepetys, of course. I would want to pick her brain about everything, especially because I love history, especially the World War II era type history. And she does so much research when she's doing a book. And I would just want to pick her brain and find out the stories that she's heard. And also, I would want to know what her favorite color is, because if she said orange, we would be like soulmates for life. What books might we be surprised to find on your shelves? I really don't know a great answer to this question because I'm always willing to at least try a book. But I did find two that I might be able to show you guys. The first one is The Devil in the White City by Erik Larson. I believe this is nonfiction, which I do not pick up as much as I need to, but I've heard that the way Erik Larson writes is much like a fiction novel, and everyone that has read Erik Larson really raves about his writing. So I have a few novels by him, and this was just the one that I happened to grab. And the other one is Atonement by Ian McEwan. I tend to stay away from classics unless I know that I'm going to like them or have read them way back in my high school career and they're still sitting around, because just the language and the verbiage is harder for me to get into. But I've seen bits and pieces of Atonement with James McAvoy, and I love James McAvoy. And I started this book. I never finished it. This was one of the books that I really wanted to finish, so I've kept it around. The next question is, how do you organize your personal library? This is a funny question. So as you may be able to tell, I do not film in my library, which is my room. First of all, because I have shoddy lighting in my room. It is awful. And it's at the very back of the house, and I always film late at night when people are asleep, which kind of sucks. But my bookshelves are kind of cluttered, and then I have a whole ton of books in my closet. I organize them on what I want to read. I just reorganized my shelves. So in my room, I have series sitting on the top. So like on the top of the bookcase that I want to get to, or that I've already gotten to and really like and want to keep out to revisit. And then I have two shelves. The first is adult fiction / nonfiction that I would like to get to soon. And the second shelf is the YA fiction that I would like to pick up. And then underneath is my record player. And I have a whole bunch of books stacked on my nightstand that is like books that I really want to get to. And then my closet is arranged from top shelf, meaning what I want to read soonest, to bottom shelf, which is what I've just kind of put on the back list. The next question is, what book have you always meant to read and haven't gotten around to yet? And is there anything you feel embarrassed to have never read? So I have been meaning to pick up A Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin forever. I started it. I still don't have my bookmark in it. Nope. I started it. I love the Song of Ice and Fire series, what I've read so far, and I really want to finish this book, but the size is just a little bit intimidating for me. But I know I'm going to get to it probably in June. Next one is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This book has been everywhere on BookTube for the past 4 or 5 months, and when I went to McKay's in Nashville in December, I found this, and I was really excited, even though it is the mass market paperback. But that's okay, because I'm only concerned with the story. And thirdly, we have a book that fits also into this category, as well as what is currently on my nightstand, and that would be The Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. With overhyped books on BookTube, it is really hard for me to get into them unless I'm reading them with everyone, but I did find this book at Goodwill for $2 and thought I would try it. I've heard it's much better than the Mortal Instrument series, and so far, it's okay. I will definitely tell you guys my thoughts once I finish. Disappointing, overrated, just not good. What book did you feel you were supposed to like but didn't? And do you remember the last book you put down without finishing? You guys are going to hate me. The book that I felt was overrated and I hated beyond anything was The Raven Boys and The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. I follow Maggie Stiefvater on Twitter. She seems freaking awesome, okay? And it pains me to say that I hated The Raven Boys and The Dream Thieves. Hated it. I thought if I continued on with the series, it would get better. It just put me in a huge slump, and everyone loves it. And I'm like, what's going on? What do you guys see that I don't? Because I really did not like it. And The Dream Thieves would be the most recent book that I did not finish. And I really hate not finishing books, so that is a lot for me to put down a book without finishing it. Next question is, what kind of stories are you drawn to and any you stay clear of? I'm drawn to, it really just depends on my mood. What got me into reading when I was young is mysteries, and I will always have a spot in my heart for mysteries and thriller novels, so I'm most drawn to them, but lately it's been a lot of fantasy, a little bit of contemporary. I think I'm breaking out of that right now, which is great, because there's only so many contemporaries you can stand. Am I right? Am I right? Okay. And stay clear of, like I mentioned earlier, it's classics. Even though if I hear good things about it, I'm always willing to try it. I just, like I said, the language just isn't for me. If you could require the president to read one book, what would it be? I feel like everyone is going to have these deep thoughts about what they would want the president to read, about how he could lead the country better or take away some stronger meaning. And I would choose The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin because it is probably one of my favorite novels and I think everyone should read it. Harry Potter was such a huge influence on me as a young reader, but The Westing Game was the very first book that really got me into reading. So it will always hold this really special place in my heart, right beside Harry Potter, of course. And the last question is, what book do you plan on reading next? And since I'm in the middle of several books at the moment, I'm just going to tell you guys what those are because I don't know where I'm going from there. So we have Smoke by Dan Valletta, The Underdogs by Melissa Fay Green, Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, and Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. That was the New York Times by the book tag. I will not be tagging anyone because I don't know who has done this. It has been widely popular lately. So if you have done this tag, feel free to link it down below so I can go check it out. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you next time. Bye!